Okay, so here's the sample exam which you have on Blackboard. You can go and look over. If you haven't done this already, I probably won't give you too many answers or anything. I'm going to give you more hints on what you're looking at rather than what you should do. So let's see. First of all, I want this is the grade I want to put on your exam when I grade it. Okay, I want you to do the best you can and aim to do do the best you can at every one of these questions. So let's take a look. The first thing here says multiple choice problems. Fill in your off-scan with your choices. Choose the best answer for each question. That means it may not always be the perfect answer, but keep that in mind. The first question, what ethical theories, blah, blah, blah. If you read this over, it might not sound very obvious what you're being asked for. In this case, if you look at the answers, you can see that there are just a few choices. These are the ethical theories. You need to know these theories. That's really what the question is asking you. Do you understand what these theories are? And if so, then you should be able to answer this part of the question that really is interpretation. I believe this also is being a quote that came right out of the reading. So that may be a big hint as to where some of these questions will come from. Which of the following is not a renewable energy source? Do you know what a renewable energy source is? Okay, so let's see. We have which of the following is not a renewable energy source? This is just asking you, do you know what a renewable energy source is? What does renewable energy mean? More or less a definition kind of question. Identify which of these fits the definition. Lab view questions. I like these. These are posed pretty well. The first one asks, this is block diagram, has two controls, two indicators, has all these questions. Basically, you need to know what a control is and what an indicator is. A control, of course, is an input, like an indicator is an output. So, just need to know those definitions and be able to recognize from the diagram which of those is the correct answer. This one, if a user assigns y equals 7 and would like to get r equals 9, choose the value he or she should assign to k. Okay, well, y is 7. We'll write 7 there. R equals 9, so this is what you want to get out here. And what should you assign to k? Well, we don't know, so we'll call it k. 7 times k is 7k. We'll just follow it through the path. 7k minus 3. So 7k minus 3. Send it to the square root, and that will equal 9. So then we will have this, 7k minus 3. You can solve that equation pretty easily. So you can see how to approach that problem and get the right answer for that. The this one says it's a power function. Okay, that's important. Be careful of this. This just means electrical power, but power is measured as a function of current. It's not terribly important to being able to complete this problem. The given what was the value of the denominator for the formula. So with this problem, not only could you do extra work by not reading carefully, but you could give the wrong answer. This is asking only for the denominator of the m equation. So you have to do a part of it. To look out for things like that. Which these canons of ethics, in a temperature-related question here. Logic. This question has some interesting notes to it. Well, first, 3 switches. Okay, switches. Those are things you can control as a user. So those are inputs. And 1 motor. So that's the output. Then what can the value of b be for the truth table below? And they tell you on equals logic 1 and off equals logic 0. So how exactly do you get a 2? You don't. With all of these, you can cross out. And now you just need to evaluate the question for the logic that it's asking you based on this diagram up here. The Hoover Dam is best described as, and you can see different types of systems. Do you know what these systems are? Do you know what the definitions of them are? And do you know how to recognize one of them? Indicators, there's that question pretty straight up. This question is about gears and how they interact. The spur gear really just tells you some more details about how it's hooked up. And that shouldn't be real critical to being able to solve the problem. Let's see, using graph paper. And again, identifying systems. The following incident morales. So, I'll ask you some details about that. Did you understand the, get the basic idea of it? Here, this question's pretty good. It asks you, there's no correlation between x and y. What is the value of the coefficient of determination? At first, you might read this and be a little worried. I'm not sure exactly how to answer this. Well, first, do you know what the coefficient of determination is? If you understand what that is, you're already pretty well off. You know also that r squared really can't be negative, so those two are out. And if this is there's no correlation between x and y, what's the coefficient of determination? You know a little bit about this problem. You can pretty quickly narrow this down to either 0 or 1. Then just apply the knowledge you have on this topic to answer the question. Workout problems. Here's where the biggest issues are. Read this carefully. Okay, first it says, given the current across the variable resistor is recorded while the resistance is changed. Not critically important. If you're not that great with electrical stuff, that's okay here. We have this set of data. That's what we're really analyzing. But here, find. It says provide a complete graphical representation of the data in Table 2. Do not determine the empirical function. So all you need to do is graph this. But there's an important word here. Complete graphical representation. So don't just throw down the points, but put your lines in for your axes. Tell me what the units are. Give me the full title. And tell me what the units are, but also give me the values along the axes. What are all these values through here? And the same thing on the y. All the information there. And then when you plot the points, give them the circles and trace them through. Follow all the rules that you know about graphing. Follow, and it says complete graphical representation. So that's a key word there. That's what you need to be looking for, these kinds of key words. This problem, people will overthink this. If you look at this, a population over time, just follows a straight line on semi-log y. So that tells you, you should be able to determine from that whether it's linear, exponential, or its power. And once you determine that, you write the common form of the empirical function. We know empirical comes from data, so that just tells us where it's coming from. The common form is what we've been emphasizing all the time, so you should be very familiar with that and be able to say, and notice, P equals, I'm noticing I'm using the variables from the problem, equals something 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 to do with t years, and so maybe it's a power function, then you have something up here, or maybe it's exponential, so you have something to the t. You could have a few different choices, but that's what you need to determine. The key is here to emphasize the particular aspects of the problem, to read the question carefully, and make sure you're giving exactly what the question's asking. This should help a lot and get you a lot more points on your exam. So, good luck.